you love that feeling of learning something new and being surrounded by a community that gets your crafty side, I'd love to invite you to check out my VIP membership. Inside, I share an exclusive video and live class every single month. There's a library of over 50 exclusive videos right now, 25 live class replays, and over $600 worth of courses, including my most popular one, the Technique Resource Finder, which teaches over 175 card making techniques. So if you're loving the Summit energy and you want to keep up the creativity, come join us inside the VIP membership. And I just wanted to let you in on a secret. The price is going up this year. But if you do sign up now, you'll be grandfathered in with the old price of just $14 a month or $149 a year. So I'm looking forward to welcoming you into the VIP community.
Hello my dear crafty people, I'm Katharina and I'm so excited to be part of this stress-free card making speaker summit. Today I want to show you how to make a basic slider card. In my opinion, it's one of the easiest interactive card mechanisms, so I really like it because it's quickly done and you have so many possibilities with it. I will show you how to make a very specific themed one, but you can apply what you learned today to any theme you like. So I'd say without further ado, let's get started. I've already prepared my card base as well as my card cover. This is an A5 sheet of paper which I turn into a DIN A6 card base. And for slider cards, I like to do it this way always, like with a card base as well with a card cover, because the card cover goes on top and then you have the base as well, the ground to slide something up on. So I am gonna work further with the card cover. You'll also need a cutting mat and a craft knife, because now I want to kind of create the railway of the slider, so something your sliding mechanism can actually slide along. For that I will use my ruler to draw it onto my card cover and then cut it out with a craft knife later. I'm using my set square, but you can use any ruler you have, and it always depends on what you want to slide, how big or how small it is. I want the railway to be fairly wide, like a nice strip, so I want it to be centered, of course. So let's see, this is 10 centimeters wide, so if I go 4 centimeters from each side, I have a nice 2 centimeters slot in the center. And I don't want it to go all the way through, so I start like 2 centimeters from the bottom and end like 2 centimeters from the top, something like that. And then I do the same thing from the other side. 4 centimeters. Like this. And I don't know why, but for some reason I really like to give them round ends, so I kind of eyeball drawing like a half circle line at the ends, like this, and also on this side. And then I just take my crafting knife and cut along these lines. Maybe I take my ruler for help, just to make sure that I cut straight, like this, and then I just cut out my slot. I went a bit freely on it anyway, but it's okay. Does not have to be perfect. Card making is all about the fun of creating and the fun of gifting, so let's see if I do better on the other side. Like this, and the hardest part is always the rounded part, but we can manage that as well. Perfect. Now the other side. Very nice. So now you have a nice slot that your slider can actually slide along. Just let me erase all the pencil marks real quick. Here's a slight uneven part, so I'm just gonna try and correct that with my scissors. Now, even better. Okay, that looks great. Next we'll need something that, well, can actually slide. So I'm taking any scrap piece of cardstock, like this one, and the thing that actually slides, well, the actual slider, it should be wider than the slot you just made, obviously, because otherwise it would slip out. And it should be at least as long as the card cover, maybe a little bit longer, so you can actually pull it out easier. And yeah, I have this scrap piece of cardstock. My slot is 2 centimeters wide, so I'm gonna go for like a 3 centimeter wide pull tab. Like this. Let's see. It fits behind perfectly, and I just gonna keep it this long. I will shorten it later, but for now I just leave it like that. You also need a little bit of wiggle room behind here, so yeah, just keep it this way, and then later I will shorten it once everything is finished. So now that the 2 main parts of the card are finished, or maybe the 3 main parts, the card base, the card cover, and the slider piece, I'm gonna go for the decoration I want to do. And this can be anything. Like the easiest thing would maybe be 2 halves of a heart, one on the slider, one fixed here, that you can bring together while sliding up. Or I've also done like a gingerbread couple that hugs when you pull the tab. Today I want to do an Up theme, like from the movie Up from Pixar or Disney, not sure right now. But yeah, I've prepared this drawing. If you can't draw or just don't have the time, I've created a digital download for you, so you can recreate this card without any fuss. But I'm gonna color this in now with my alcohol markers. Of course, you can use any types of colors you like or you prefer. Let's see if I remember the colors of this house correctly. I think the roof was blue because it was a really colorful house, right? So let's see, how about this blue? Yeah, that looks nice. I think this part was yellow. This is a nice pale yellow. This one was, if I remembered correctly, pink. So I'm looking for a pale, medium pink. Let's see. It's a bit dark, but I'll take it. I think this part was a light green. Let's see, how about this one? It's a bit too dark, I think. Let's check this one. Way too dark, so I'm gonna go with this one. Then I need, I think, a gray for the roof and maybe a brown for the chimney. Let's see how this brown looks. It's a bit dark. What does dark yellow look like? Maybe it's brownish enough. Yeah, that one looks good. So yeah, I think that's it. And now I'm just gonna color everything in. It's actually quite easy to draw this house, as it's just geometrical shapes basically. But as I said before, I've created a freebie for you just to maybe save you some time.
And the freebie contains a printer-friendly black and white version of the house, so basically just the outlines, but also a colored version of the house to save you even more time if you're in a hurry.
Yes, it was a really colorful house, but I think that looks good now. And now I'm just gonna fuzzy cut it. For fuzzy cutting, I love to use my curved scissors. I just got them from the drugstore. They're just normal nail scissors, but the light curvature really helps you, like, with curves. Okay, I think that looks nice. And now we still need all the balloons. I'm gonna use the same strip of spare paper for this. And I'm just gonna use my pencil to kind of shape out where the balloons are. Like, here are all the strings holding them together. And I think it kind of looked like a giant balloon made out of a lot of little small ones. Maybe I make it even wider. Doesn't have to be perfect, just shaping it out. And now I'm just gonna use the colors from before along with some more to just draw a lot of tiny balloons. I'm gonna use red, and I'm just drawing tiny dots here. And this. First I thought about just cutting out each individual balloon, but I think that would take ages. So I'm going for this a little quicker and easier method.
So I'm basically just adding more and more colorful dots here until I have filled up all the white space.
Also going in with a dark blue. Don't be afraid to go over the balloons you've already drawn, because they are all overlapping. There are thousands of balloons. I mean, they're enough to lift a house, right? Maybe I'll also go back in with red. Okay, I think that looks good now. I'm just gonna also retrace the strings with some black fine liner. I'm gonna make them a bit longer because we'll have to attach it to the house. Maybe add a few more. Like this. And now we're just gonna cut everything out again. I'm just gonna leave off a bit from the bottom. Again, we will need it to attach it to the house, and we'll think about the perfect shape of it later. I'm just going roughly around the balloons. That looks good. Let's see how it looks together with the house. Yes, that looks nice. It's a bit too broad here at the bottom, so I'm gonna slim it out a little, but not too slim. We still want it to attach easily to the house. Like this. That looks really good. So I'm gonna put a bit of glue here below the balloons, and then just glue the house to it. Press it down real hard so I make sure it stays where it belongs. Let's see how it looks on our card base. It looks nice. It's a bit tall, but that doesn't bother us right now. I'm just gonna clean up here for a second. Okay, now I'm just gonna place the slider behind the slot where it's supposed to be. I'm just placing it, not gluing it down yet anywhere, so just like this. And then I'm placing the house on top of it just to see where it belongs. And then I'm just gonna place some foam tape behind the house. Let's cut that to size. I want to put it here because there it's center on, yes, on the slider. And then I'm also gonna place the rest of it here just to give the house a little bit more stability. And maybe also a teeny tiny piece at the back of the balloons. I just don't want the foam tip to be too high up because it will inhibit the movement of the slider. So maybe just here. Yeah, I think that should work. So let's remove all the protective sheets and bring everything into place. Okay, that is moved a little, so I'm trying to center it again. That looks good enough. Now I'm gonna stick the house to it. Okay, perfect. Let's see how that works. Yes, very well. Very good. And then next step, we want to stick the card cover to the card base. So I'm using another type of foam tape, a little broader one. This one's from Altenmu. To put it left and right from the slider to secure it in its place. And this broad foam tape is just perfect to do just that. Next one's maybe a little bit longer. Always try to keep the slider in position, because once you stick down the card cover to the card base, you won't be able to move it anymore. Just like this, maybe a little bit more to cover the ends. Tiny piece here. And also a tiny piece up here. I mean, you can definitely measure it before you do it, but I'm just eyeballing it, so now I have to correct my mistakes. Also, maybe a really slim piece. It's always a bit hard to cut, but a slim one for the bottom of it, just to make sure it doesn't slide off the end of the card. Okay, so now let's remove the protective sheets again. It's way easier with the broader tape than with the slim one. And then we're just gonna stick it to our card base. Careful to center it. That looks good, I think. Just gonna flatten it out. Perfect. Let's see if that works. And it works perfectly. Very nice. And now when you slide it up, it reveals this inner part of the card, and that's just the perfect space for a little message. And I'm gonna go with Adventure Awaits because I think it was the central theme of the movie. So I'm just gonna write it with pencil first and then trace it later. I'm just gonna use my fine liner again to trace it. I'm also gonna double down on all the down strokes. So wait, this was an up one, but never mind. To make it look like calligraphy or hand lettering, which is an easy trick to do it, even with no hand lettering skills or without brush pens. So just make all the downward strokes double thickness, like this. I'm just gonna let it dry for a second so I can erase all the pencil marks. Like this. And now I can cut off the overhanging edge of the slider. Just need my scissors again. I don't want it to poke out too much, so maybe like this. I'm just gonna eyeball it, and now I'm actually gonna pull it out even more and then round the corners with my corner rounder, just to give it a more finished look, like this. Okay, I know what you're all thinking. I'm thinking it too. It still looks a bit boring, so I'm trying to salvage that. Maybe I can give the background more the looks of like the sky. So I'll just try to carefully ink the edges. Of course, that would have been way easier to do before I stuck it down, but yeah, I'm just gonna work with what I have now. So I'm just lightly going over the edges, and I try not to spill anything on the background, but whatever happens, happens, you know? You know what? I think it looks better already. Let me refresh a little on the ink. I just don't want it to be too dark blue or too strong. So I don't want to refresh it too often. Just a little bit. Okay, I think it really looks better already, so it was a good choice, I think. I hope you think so too. A bit more ink here, but I think it's okay. It just has like a nice sky look to it. I mean, the sky is not all even anyway, right? There are clouds and everything. Yeah, I think that's way better now. Oh, and of course you can write a little pull message up here so the recipient knows what to do when he receives your card. P-U-L-L. All right. So now I think the card is finished. You have a nice hidden sentiment in here. And yeah, so this is the final card again. When you pull up here, the balloons pull up the house, bringing the inhabitants to new adventures. Once again, this was just the basic mechanism of the slider. You can get very creative with this. It's super easy to make, which is why I love it so much. And yeah, if you want to recreate this exactly, you can download the freebie I've created for you. And otherwise, I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the Speaker Summit.